Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode powered by Hayabusa. It's all about why your shadow boxing sucks. All right, in today's episode, we're talking about why your shadow boxing sucks. Now, the big rant I always give is these new martial artists today don't value shadow boxing as a tool. A lot of times, shadow boxing is only used as your warm-up. You get to your class, your coach says shadow box, and what you see is everybody just stationary, just throwing little punches, maybe putting little combinations. You'll see some maybe light kicks or knees, but that's not really shadow boxing. That's just loosening up your body. The actual tool of shadow boxing, to me, is one of the most important tools you can have, right? Just like me, bag work. I don't think a lot of the newer generation of fighters are using enough bag work. And the same thing goes to shadow boxing. So why does your shadow boxing suck? So the first thing is there's no purpose to your shadow boxing. What is the purpose? If it's to warm up and be stationary, just doing this is fine. But let's be real, your shadow boxing needs to be a tool. Now, the first thing I think about when I shadow box is, one, am I going to be a pressure fighter or am I going to be an evasive fighter that's hitting and moving? So I start. So if I'm starting, my movement starts my shadow boxing. So building movement to your shadow boxing is very important. Okay? The second thing that you're going to add, right? I'm still an evasive fighter. I'm thinking of a pressure fighter. Okay? Is naturally I build in feints. So before I'm not even throwing a strike in this shadow boxing, and I've already built in movement. I've already built in angles with my footwork. I've built in feints. I've built in kind of hand distractions as I'm moving. So this part of the fighting, the in between your strikes, the in between the attacks, is so important. Right? It's not just hitting and staying stationary. What is your enter? What is your combination? What is your exit? That's what you should be thinking in your head. So I'm moving, I'm feinting. What's my enter? Okay, whatever I'm working, I might enter with a combination. I built an exit and I move. So it's the in between the striking, the attacking that becomes important in your shadow boxing. Okay. Now the other thing, right? I told you, are you a pressure fighter? Are you evading? Now you got to start thinking about what your opponent is doing to you. Okay, so when I'm shadow boxing now, I might be thinking, all right, I'm going to work my boxing counters. So right away, I'm thinking, is my opponent, one, in an orthodox stance, or is he a southpaw? That makes a big difference, right? If my opponent's a southpaw, my movement's going to be different. If my my imaginary opponent is orthodox, I might be cutting different angles, right? So you need to think about what stance your opponent's in, okay? I'm going to use the air quotations. Your opponent is in. Now, the other thing is, what strikes do your opponent like to throw? So my imaginary opponent's right now in orthodox, right? So as I'm feinting, I'm moving, I'm setting up angles, my opponent throws a jab at me. Boom! I slipped the jab, I countered. I came back with my low kick, I moved, I feint. He threw the jab again, I countered it, okay? So you start seeing now, one, what stance my opponent is, what is my opponent throwing at me. So if I want to work, say now he's throwing his cross at me, all right? I'm hitting him with shots, I'm peppering him. Boom, the cross comes, I just slipped the cross. Countered, I created an angle, right? I don't need an actual body to stand in front of me. The visualization created that sequence for me, okay? Now, the last thing you need to remember when you're shadow boxing and why your shadow boxing sucks, okay, is you need to understand the rhythm, the tempo changes. That's important. You don't just sit there on one rhythm. You build the feints, different rhythms, different tempos, right? Different attacking styles. But to me, what is missing and why most shadow boxing sucks is you're not building in defense to your shadow boxing, okay? So when I'm shadow boxing still, feinting, yeah, cool. If I just attack and not worry about my hands, my opponent is attacking me. So after I throw my combination, right, I'm visualizing catching. I might block kicks, right? My opponent's a southpaw. Look, they like the big power kick. I blocked the big open stance body kick. I countered it, stepped in with my own, blocked it, okay? Circling outside, finding my rear hand, hand pinning. Boom, the counter comes, I block. I move my head, I slip, catch the low kick, okay? So I'm creating a scenario and a situation in my head, and that's why shadowboxing isn't a valuable tool. If you have a fight coming up, you should be recreating your fight in your shadowboxing. If you have a ring, go in your ring. If I know I'm going to pressure fight in my fight, my whole shadowboxing is going to be pressuring, tracking. I'm following my opponent around the ring, practicing maybe the game plan my coach and I have. Okay, no, now I'm an evasive fighter. I'm fighting a pressure fighter, so I want to stay long, catch punches, find different targets, knees. You have to create a scenario in your head. And to me, thinking about counters is the best way. What's this? Okay, I'm going to split. I'm going to counter. I'm going to block counter this way. I'm going to block, and then I'm going to move. You have to start using your IQ and create scenarios in your head. It's not good enough just to sit there and throw air punches, right? Create a scenario, create a situation, create a fight in your head. Think about which way you're moving, which way you're going to defend, how you're going to counter, what stance are they in? Are they pressure fighters? Are they evasive? Are they more of a kick fighter versus a punch fighter? Create scenarios in your head, practice them, study them. You know, you may have had a sparring round last class and been like, man, this guy was a tall fighter and I had a hard time getting in. The next day, you should be in the gym working your inside movements. How are you going to cut in? What worked? What did that partner throw that I was having trouble with? Okay, I'm going to parry it off. Start using your brain, your thinking, and this is the time to do it. Shadowboxing. Have it with a purpose and really use it as a valuable tool. And I'll keep saying it again, young fighters, practice on the bag, get on your shadowboxing. Those are two tools that older generations way beyond me used it, and it was very effective, and you can still use it today. Okay? Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you support the channel by supporting our sponsors. We have Hayabusa by going to Hayabusa Fight. We have Perfect Sports Nutrition. Using Bazooka 20 will get you 20% off all of your supplements. Last but not least, bazookatraining.com, online curriculum taught by me, and you get brand new videos every single Monday, and it's less than $10 a month. As I always say, have your gym, have your physical training, but whatever you learned at your gym, I almost guarantee I have a video on that topic. Go home, see what I have to say on it. Put my coaches, your coaches, and my knowledge together, and you can kind of extrapolate and learn and kind of see the bigger picture of the sport. Okay? Hope you enjoyed today. We'll see you next time here at bazookatraining.com. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, one, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website is going to give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're going to be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.